Thank you, Mr. Rice and Ranking Member Brady, for leading this meeting today. You know, for years, our colleagues on the other side of the aisle have repeated the false tax claims that only they have, and then had their friends in big tech and in the mainstream media repeat them as facts, distorting America's views of taxes. It's really unfortunate that we just can't just debate with honest facts and let our constituents make informed decisions for themselves. So I'm thankful that we can meet today and debunk some of these myths. One of the myths is that 83% of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act tax cuts went to the top 1%. This is just plain false, and our colleagues know it. Even our friends in the media, even their friends in the media had to admit this. I mean, the Washington Post gave this false statement 3 Pinocchios, calling it a zombie claim and galling. PolitiFact agreed, calling it misleading. As we've already heard, in 2017, Republicans cut taxes for Americans across the board. In addition to lower tax rates, we doubled the standard deduction and the child tax credit. This means that a family of 4 earning the median income of $73,000 received a $2,000 tax cut. We have other evidence of the success of the tax reform, and workers were the big winners. Unemployment fell to a 50-year low of 3.5%. We saw all-time low unemployment among many groups that have historically been disadvantaged in the labor market: African Americans, Hispanics, and workers without a high school degree. Wages grew at the strongest rate in a decade, and wages grew faster for lower income workers than for supervisors and executives. The result was record income increases for minority households, and income inequality actually decreased. Let me repeat that. Income inequality actually decreased. So don't believe the zombie claim. Something else that Americans shouldn't believe: President Biden's tax pledge, nobody making under $400,000 would have their taxes raised, period. Republicans have warned that ordinary Americans will shoulder the burden of Democrats' trillions of dollars in tax hikes, and nonpartisan congressional scorekeepers have confirmed this fact. The Joint Committee on Taxation's official report on the House Democrats' tax and spend plan shows that few Americans will benefit. 68% of Americans and 64% of those earning less than $10,000 get essentially no benefit or have a meaningfully higher tax burden. And the Joint Committee on Taxation shows that there are millions of everyday Americans who will pay higher taxes in direct violation of Biden's pledge. 5% of households earning $40,000 to $50,000 will see a tax increase, a figure that rises to 18% for households making $75,000 to $100,000, and it rises 35% for households earning $100,000 to $200,000. What's worse is the Democrats object to making Republican tax cuts permanent when they expire in 2026, so these figures will get even worse over time. President Biden said no to middle-class tax cuts in his budget earlier this year, and House Democrats did the same in their tax and spend bill. Instead, Democrats are making sure they have enough room to add a last-minute SALT giveaway to the mega rich in the high-tax blue states. Tax hikes for ordinary Americans and a SALT tax shelter for the wealthy are the last thing we need right now. Again, thank you, Mr. Rice, for holding this meeting, and I yield back.